And that's what I think about that punk.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Welcome
Wow.
back to Lost Legacies, everyone.
A
I'm
Hidden
Matt.
City, Hidden City Book Company production, and I'm Sam.
That's right. That's right. Uh, I'm I'm
Matt's feisty
extremely
today.
I'm extremely tired. I'm going on like 3 days of having trouble sleeping. I need some
Oh,
kind of
bro.
like NyQuil or something.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
but I got to take off early today
Oh, good.
because I didn't watch this movie. So Sam was texting me, "Damn, hell of a movie," and I was literally just sitting down to start it.
Wow.
That was
And
two
I
and a half hours ago.
and I was even gonna say, I was like, man, Matt hasn't he hasn't told me anything about the movie either
Oh,
way. I feel like he would have said something. It would have come up
yeah.
organically. Wow.
No, I've just been getting home from work and I'm just like brain dead, man. Like I'm
Mm.
just like, oh, like I never want to like watch a movie, especially doing this show because like we're kind of being uh critical of it, like I want to enjoy what I'm watching, but also like I want to give it a fair shot.
Yeah.
So I never really want to sit down and just be like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, I told myself I'll just take off early and I'll watch it. So I door dashed because I'm like I don't have any time to go get food, so I'm gonna door dash, which I've been doing very good. I haven't been door dashing because they're a crappy company and they take all my money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I door dashed and watched Kiki. So that was my day.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, solid day.
Yeah. Anything we got to catch up on?
Unless do you want to talk about the Lanterns trailer?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay, well, good. Neither do I.
I think that's enough said. No, I don't. I don't know. What do you feel about it? Like, I just
I
thought it was completely like boring.
the green that we have in our backgrounds and I have on my shirt is more green than was in that whole trailer.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
yeah. Here's the thing. When you as a company have made a box office bomb, right?
hmm,
That's bad. No, nobody likes to be reminded of your mistakes. So whatever.
hmm,
But when an actor who was in that bomb has made nothing but jokes about that character and his participation in that role, just the butt of a joke, and has reminded everybody constantly for about the 10 and a half or however long, almost 2 decades. It's like a decade
yeah,
and a half, I think, at this point. I think that really hurts. I think that really
hmm,
hurts, more than the movie just not being good.
yeah. Uh, the movie sucked, and that may be due to Ryan Reynolds or other forces behind the scenes. Point
Yeah.
was, it was a bad movie, but Ryan Reynolds continues to beat down and to break down that brand that is Green Lantern, and
Yeah.
it's now it's hurting all the next projects coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's also a big reason why there was no Lantern in the Snyderverse,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like because not only does that film leave a bad taste in your mouth, but I mean, it's just a Hollywood. Hollywood regurgitates everything every couple of years, and it's just like, boom,
Yeah.
let's just do it again. But because Ryan Reynolds keeps beating this dead horse,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it might be an ego thing. I can understand being embarrassed by something you did,
Sure.
whether it was a mistake you made or external forces that caused that. But at the same time, it's like the only way to address this is to laugh at myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I feel
But
like is healthy, but now it's just like, okay, dude, are you gonna grow up at this point? Like, is
yeah,
it behind
yeah.
you?
Because that's the thing is just like, yeah, sure. Like, I feel like in the earlier in his career, like especially like immediately after, I feel like that's a good mindset to have. It's like the best thing I can
Yeah.
do is laugh it off. But like it's gotten to the point where it's just like, hey man, we're still like ragging on this in Deadpool 3. Like, like
Yeah.
let's move on. Like move
Yeah.
on. Like we're
Yeah.
like you should be ready to move on. We're all
Yeah.
ready to move on, you know. So yeah, I don't know. The whole,
So
on the whole though, like the I I haven't been a fan of anything that I've really heard coming out of this. Like the
I like
fact
the
that
casting
it's,
of Kyle Chandler.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
think
do
as
like that.
yeah, I think he's a great addition as which one is he? The
How?
okay, so yeah, it's Hal, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the second Green Lantern, if I'm correct?
Yes,
Okay.
well, technically yes, because the Green Lantern history is slightly confused. The first one was Alan Scott, but he wasn't technically like from like the alien Green Lanterns. He has a whole other origin.
Okay,
But
interesting.
yeah, Hal Jordan was like the first human to have like the Green Lantern core ring.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, just to tie in this whole conversation with everything we were just talking about, like I
Hmm.
think the brand is just so tarnished still from that movie and Ryan Reynolds' continuous jokes that some powers that be said, okay, if we're gonna do this, it needs to be gritty, it needs to be grounded, and like
Yeah.
this is not what I want to see from a superhero story, like
Even like
especially something as fantastic as Green Lantern.
that's kind of
Like,
my thing. It's like this wouldn't be a problem if this was like another like gritty, grounded,
yeah,
superhero, but like it's the fact that it's Green Lantern. I'm like, you could just do the same story, just put it in space, just
yeah,
like
exactly.
put it on a, sci-fi loves to do its desert worlds, like put it on a desert world, have people with cellophane jackets or something. Like, I don't care. Like this it looks like it would be a fine show if it was just a cop show. But it's the
Here's the
fact that
thing:
it's the Green Lantern that I'm like, this, yeah.
there's barely any Green Lantern stuff in the trailer.
Hmm.
If you take it out, it just looks like a rip off of Reacher. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's what someone did. They're like, hey, Reacher's big right now. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
And again, it's very similar to what's the main actor? Aaron Pierre, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
He was just in that other movie,
What is it? Rebel Ridge?
Rebel Ridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
very similar to this Lanterns trailer. Like, and I liked Rebel Ridge a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah, this just looks like I had such high hopes because Superman, the first film in James Gunn's universe here, was so comic booky,
Hmm.
and they really went there. And then now he's doing Peacemaker, and Peacemaker is very comic booky and out there. And now this is not saying that you can't do something more grounded and gritty, but it
Yeah.
feels weird for it to be a Green Lantern
Yeah.
thing of all things.
Like
Like,
this feels like a holdover from, the earlier days where it's like, oh, he's gotta earn the ring, he's gotta earn the uniform. It's like I can't wait to watch them do like three constructs and then wear the costume once in like 8 or 10 episodes.
I
You
feel
know?
like, and this is what we kind of got when they announced that Daredevil was coming back with the
Mhm.
what was it called? Season
Born
4?
again.
Born Again. They were
Yeah.
saying they completely scrapped everything because you don't actually see him in costume till like episode 4. And it's just like, what are we doing, guys? Like,
Yeah.
come on. I get the same vibe with this. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to see a power until the last 5 seconds of the first episode, and it's going to tease it.
Yeah, everything is Surf Dracula right now, so.
Surf Dracula? What does that mean?
Oh, so it's a meme that somebody essentially used to like surf Dracula.
Hmm.
If it was a show from like the 50s or probably 60s, like every single episode just have Dracula on a surfboard for no reason. What's the reason? It doesn't matter. The title of the show is Surf Dracula. He's gonna be surfing in the episode.
Hmm.
Nowadays, you reboot, Surf Dracula. It's a 10 episode Netflix series that's very broody and very dark, and there's like There's no surfing until the very last 5 minutes of the last episode. And then the
Mm-hmm.
show gets canceled because, nobody watched
Yeah.
it. Yeah, like this is Surf Dracula to me. It's like if this
Yeah.
show had been made earlier, we'd be having Green Lantern shenanigans like all the live long day, you know?
Yeah.
Um there were there was a thing that I was just about to say specifically about that, but I forgot it.
Well, I will say this. One of the things that I have disliked about Green Lantern over the last decade is how they try to make him very humorous. Now, it depends which one you're talking about. Typically it's Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
But in the comics, in the animated films, and it's just like, you know, we grew up with the animated series, 90s and early 2000s stuff, and like, I didn't really have a lot of exposure to Hal Jordan. John Stewart was always my Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But to me, like the Flash was always like the comedic one. You know,
Yeah.
he's fast of feet and fast of wit. And so like it's just very weird. Like when the comics started, like honestly, like the Flash and Green Lantern are very interchangeable. Like it's the same character, just different powers. And I'm like,
Mm,
oh, okay, that's weird. So I
yeah.
will say I'm glad that there was like no humor in this trailer. That's
But
also that's also very anti like what Marvel's doing right now. But at the same
yeah.
time, you can do no humor and still present something that's fun.
Yeah, because therein lies another problem where it's like we're not gonna have this be humorous at all, or it's gonna be that like snarky kind of sardonic, but it's serious because we're gonna let Kyle Chandler say the F word twice.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'm like, you don't need that. You like cut that.
Mm.
But they then replace it with this like bickering mentor mentee thing where it's just like, well, I'm the one that's got the ring, so I'm in charge. It's like you're yesterday's news, old man. I'm the guy that needs the ring, and it's like, okay, like now there's this kind of rivalry thing. It's like I feel like there's a different way to write. You know, I feel like these characters have been better written, not surprisingly, in their animated forms.
Right, yeah.
Where it's like now you have these writers who aren't taking the comics into account, not taking the animated shows into account, and they're just I feel like they are just doing that. We're gonna like it's True Detective, it's Longmire, it's Reacher, but they're space cops, but on Earth, and
But
it's
not
like
in space. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I'm like,
Like,
well, like, yeah, yeah. Even then, like, if it was not set on Earth, like, I would probably have the same problem, just writing wise, dialogue wise. But like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll wait to see another trailer for sure. But I was not enthused about
Yeah.
this one.
So,
So
and we talked about it before how much I hate that the bickering
yeah,
buddy cop friends to enemies thing, and I'm just like,
hmm
enemies to lovers, awesome. The whole
awesome.
bickering buddy cop thing, I'm like, dude, it's so played out because like it's just like
I'm just
there's
gonna
nothing there's
I'm
nothing
either gonna
original about it anymore.
I'm either gonna not work with you or I just won't talk to you the whole time. You know?
Right? Hobbs and Shaw did the same thing. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
a lot of great stuff in that movie. I like The Rock and Jason Statham working together, but it's like, how are you expecting me to take these two guys seriously? Well, one, the world is very not serious at all, and then two, they're just bickering the whole time, and I'm just like, all right. Same
That
thing
was
with
that was
Falcon and
Deadpool and
Winter Soldier.
Wolverine, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm like, look at Riggs and Murtaugh, the ultimate buddy cop duo. And like, there's not really a lot of bickering. Like, sure, like there might be a little bit, but those guys are buds,
Yeah.
especially after the first movie. It's like, okay. And I'm like, it
There
works. It's
there are
like we're
these
so afraid to do just straight up dude friendships, you
well,
know?
yeah, yeah. So last year, or maybe it was the year before, I watched for the very first time Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because those were movies that I had only ever seen like on like TNT or Spike.
Right.
But like I had never seen them like the whole way through, never seen them unedited. So I watched them a couple of summers ago. And yeah, like indicative of a different time, sure, but like the same problem persists like in those movies as it does now, where it's like you had the buddy cop duo, but obviously like they don't like each other, or they're constantly bickering back and forth, but they get the job done. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's a point where like why aren't we just doing like Miami Vice? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
those guys, like, those guys are ride or die. They are
Yeah.
on each other's six. Like they
And
have each other's back.
it's still like it's so masculine, like we don't talk about it. It's not Fast and
Yeah.
Furious where like we're family, we got each other's back and we're gonna hug it out. It's not like
Yeah.
that. Like no, like Crockett and Tubbs, they're essentially each other's best friends. They're never gonna say it. And
Yeah.
they got the respect and the trust there, and it's just like it's never really said until like those moments when it's just like, oh dude, I think
hmm
this is it for us.
It's like it's that idea of like soulmates. It's like these guys are
Right.
soulmates.
Yeah.
They like there is a love there for each other,
Mm-hmm.
but because of the times, because of how they're raised, because of the profession, like because of a myriad of things, like they're never going to outright say that they love each other. They're never
Yeah.
going to say if they consider each other family or brothers or whatever, but it's like they know because
Yeah.
they're there in those instances. And exactly that, it's like they know that this is going to be their last night. There's no other way this is going down than them right next to each other. And it's like
Yeah.
you don't get that anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
eventually Hobbs and Shaw come together to beat up Superman Idris Elba, but like you never feel it. Eventually Hugh
Mm-hmm.
Jackman and Ryan Reynolds come together to beat the bad guy, but it doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel earned.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Also, I just want to take a quick second to say that I love that this is what we're talking about, this very deep manly analysis of men and men bonding and all this stuff in front of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I feel like there are some
Yeah.
intersectionality in there, but yeah. So it's like
Sure.
I agree, like I feel like that's why Lord of the Rings resonates with me more than any kind of like
Mm-hmm.
buddy cop movie ever did, because you have these men who are like, you can't deny it. These are like masculine men. These are kind of like quintessential archetypal ideal of men. And
Mm-hmm.
what are they doing? They're tenderly holding another man as he's like dying or as he's wounded.
Mm-hmm.
There's a genuine concern when they think one of them has died. And when they see that they're alive, they're gonna
Yeah.
cry. So many
Yeah.
men in that movie cry because that's the situation. But and
Mm-hmm.
there's no calling it out. There's no snarky remarks. There's no like, oh, that just happened. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
we're feeling it. If I swear to God, if you remove the sardonic faux witticisms that writers keep thinking audiences want to see, or that these are the things that keep working, if you remove that and replace it with that camaraderie,
Mm-hmm. I don't even
to
think it's the writers. I think it's the producers at this point. You
well,
know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Well, I
again,
mean, it's all an algorithm anyway. So
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Guardians of the Galaxy might be the worst thing to happen to modern cinema
man,
because
hot take.
everyone wants to be Guardians of the Galaxy, but
Yeah,
nobody understands why Guardians of the Galaxy worked.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, thanks a lot, James Gunn. Thanks a lot for all the memories and laughs and emotions, you
Man,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, we just in sidebar, we just had a friend at work who she was gonna do like a movie marathon. She wanted everyone at work to
Oh yeah, yeah.
present a movie and she was going to watch it, and I toyed on it for a long time, but I eventually went with Point Break. And of course, just like everyone, she's like yeah, I liked it, it was really fun. kind of gay though. And I just went it, and I'm here just thinking like, man, I love Point Break because it's so rare that you got these two dudes, especially these masculine dudes, who are just like vibing. You know, they just got the friendship, and it's kind of rare to see that. But then I go back and watch it, I'm like, yeah, there's definitely some tension here. Yeah, there's some sexual tension here for sure.
I mean, like, it's funny. It's funny you say that because I just watched a video. This is like couple. Is it maybe like a couple months old from that content creator like Stories of Old.
Yes, yes, I love that guy.
He just did a video about when women portray masculinity in film.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what the movie is, but it's about this one particular group of French Foreign Legion. Like these guys are training to become part legionnaires,
Hmm.
and it is very like, there is a lot of tension, there is a lot of anger, there is a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of these things. And she was saying in an interview that the you know she was contacted by the legionnaires, and she was just like, how'd you like the movie? And they were like, we didn't like the movie, you made a gay film,
Hmm.
like you made a movie about gays. And she was just kind of taken aback. She's like, no, I made a movie about what it means to be a legionnaire.
Hmm.
And yeah, so like Stories of Old starts to deconstruct it and starts to go in, and it's like, it's indicative of a much larger problem, where exactly like what we've been saying, like men aren't taught to emote. They're not
Hmm.
taught how to correctly or successfully express themselves in ways
Right.
that are healthy, or even if it's in unhealthy ways, like there's no space for them to explore that without it being exploited mostly by other men.
Mm.
And that's kind of what the movie is also tackling. Like it is about this one. I think he's like he's like the staff sergeant or something. Like he's the one who's like training the trainees, and he's obsessed with this one guy who like is doing it all. He's like the best of them, you know. But instead of treating him like the prized pupil, he's treating him like dirt. And he's like
Mm.
hounding on him. He's constantly hounding on him to the point where like this guy gets so obsessed with him that on one occasion they're like driving back like through a desert or whatever. He tells him to get out, and he
Hmm.
like sabotages his compass and says like, find your way back. If you find your way back, like, I'll stop. And the guy never makes it back,
Mm.
and you're kind of left with this ambiguous, like, did he die? Like, did he desert? Was he abandoned? Like, you find out later he did survive, but like it's not really the point. Like, this guy is just so like
Mm.
obsessed with this, and it is about, you are trying to fit an ideal that has been made and presented to you by other men, and yet within that there's nothing there. He gets dishonorably discharged. He's out on his own. He's aimless. He doesn't understand the world, and he's still doing his same regimen for nobody.
Hmm.
It's not even really for himself. It's just he doesn't know anything, any other way to function,
Hmm.
and so it's like, yeah, like we and I know that's also like a lot of people's like very quick takeaways like on Letterbox, which is like, oh, gay film. It's like, oh, why are these so gay? And it's like, yeah, we can make those jokes, and you can read into it, and you can see that there is a homosexual read to it or a
Hmm.
queer read to it. But a lot of times, like, you wade through the BS. I think that is a huge thing that, even men are trying to tackle and talk about, and say that, like, why is it that whenever we try to portray male friendships, it's immediately, resigns to like,
Yeah.
oh, these dudes are so gay,
And I mean,
and it's like, and there's
this is,
nothing bad about queerness. It's just that that's the default that people then start to point you
and this
towards.
is like, we could do a whole episode about this discussion, But
Yeah.
like the ironic part is that there's so many of these guys who are all for men's mental health, you
Yeah.
know? But at the same time, they're still falling back to these old, outdated jokes and humor. I call it jokes and humor, but it's like it's not really funny at all. It's like, oh, he,
Yeah.
no, it's just you're saying that because you're uncomfortable by this or that. You're made uncomfortable by it, so
Yeah.
you make this little joke, and it's just like that's all tied in. Like the reasons for that is all tied into the mental health thing. So
Hmm.
it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. Like we just got to write our own stuff, man. Um,
Yeah.
I remember one of the reasons I really love The Gray is because it was just a bunch of dudes surviving, and they're
Hmm.
butting heads. Of course, they're fighting, but like I thought they did it very well, and I think it's also kind of interesting how that was Frank Grillo's like big breakout role, you know,
Hmm.
and Joe Carnahan was saying, right, that's Carnahan flick,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was saying he's like afterwards everyone kept saying like who's this guy, who's this Frank Grillo guy, like he's just so manly, so masculine,
Mm.
and Carnahan was just like he's just Frank. Like he's just a guy. Like he wasn't playing a role, you know? Maybe he's a little bit more of a dick in the movie, but
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah. And that's why I really like seeing Frank Grillo's different roles. I liked him in that time loop movie. And
Oh,
and
boss level.
Boss Level. I really liked him in that. But then you put him into like an Anthony Mackie movie, and it's back to the goal, same old tired tropes of bickering and fighting, and it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
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 So I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of buddy cop drama, I don't know.
Speaking of absolutely none of that,
None of
uh,
that.
we're pivoting and shifting the conversation now. Important
How
as it
do
is
how do
to,
middle aged men write 13-year-old girls?
yeah, and do they write them well?
Exactly, or do they just sound like 33-year-old women? We're talking about
Wow,
what is this?
harsh.
1989, right? I
Uh,
believe.
yes,
Kiki's
1989's
Kiki's
Kiki's
Delivery
Delivery
Service.
Service,
Uh,
directed
no,
by Hayao Miyazaki.
yes, I didn't mean that as a like as I just thought it was funny. I
Oh,
like the voice actor. This was the English dub because I watched it on HBO.
hmm, hmm.
Um,
They do have both dubs. They have the
really?
original Japanese,
Oh,
but the one that gets presented as soon as you type it in is
those
the
rat
the
bastards!
2010 redub, English dub.
Those rat bastards. Okay, so do we know any of these people in the dub?
Uh, I mean we probably do. I don't know why I didn't already pull it.
Oh,
Oh wait, yeah, I didn't.
Kirsten
Uh,
Dunst.
yeah, she's Kiki.
Wow, Phil Hartman. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Phil Hartman is Gigi,
Wait, who's Gigi?
the cat.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. I wasn't a fan. I like the cat, but I did not like his voice at all. Um,
Oh,
oh,
well,
Janine
and that
Garofalo, Matthew
and that's an
Lawrence.
interesting thing too. Apparently there was an English dub before this. I feel like if I read it correctly, there have been three English dubs.
Oh
One of
wow.
them was specifically for in-flight movies.
Hmm.
And yeah, apparently like that actor, I didn't read up too far into this. I don't know if there's much more there. But apparently the producer of Kiki's was a huge fan um of that voice cast's Gigi. He felt that his voice fit like perfectly
Hmm.
against like the Japanese audio. yeah, and then later on they did once they got a release and distribution deal with Disney, then they did the cast that we have now.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was edited, and a lot of the audio was cut and redubbed, and a lot of the script was rewritten to fit more American
Hmm.
sensibilities, or more
There's
like
even like a line that Gigi has where like I swear he's doing an accent like I forgot what he says, but it's supposed to. I'm like, is that supposed to be like a Boston or like kind of tough New York kind of?
oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
he does like a voice, and I was thinking of like I wonder what the original line was. You
yeah,
know, like did they change the line or like was the original line in an accent like that?
yeah, I
Um,
don't know.
yeah.
So yeah, so this version that we've watched is was the latest one. Is 2010. They they made it they made the dialogue specifically reflect the Japanese version a lot closer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so I was the one who brought this movie, so Matt,
No, you weren't.
first
I
thoughts.
was
What do you mean?
because it was my choice, and we rolled for Miyazaki.
Oh,
Because
that's
I was
right.
gonna start. I was like, all right, Sam, you picked this movie. I was like, oh wait, no, technically I
Oh.
did.
Oh, that's right.
So you
Yeah.
better have a movie for next week. Well, to tie it all together, yes, you're
Okay.
correct. Unlike Lanterns, this movie was beautiful. So lush greenery. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is such like cozy fantasy. You know, we've talked about this in the past, like the cozy
Yes.
genre. Um,
Yes.
so much to the point, like this whole time, this whole movie, I'm like, when's the other shoe gonna drop? Like these old ladies, they're gonna poison her, or the artsy girl in the forest. Of course, she's a witch. She has to be. Is she trying to take like Kiki's powers? Like what's
hmm
happening? Like I was
And does
questioning.
she control the crows, or what's
Yeah,
going on? Yeah.
everything, anything, and
Yeah.
everything. I was just like, what's gonna happen? You know, Tombo's just a little creep. I'm like everything. I'm like, hmm. But alas, none of that happened.
hmm
Uh, uh,
And
so
honestly, I think it's better for it. I really
it's
do.
interesting. I've I always hear everyone praising Miyazaki films. I'm like, okay, cool. So I never really heard any detractors, but I
hmm
can see why this movie isn't for everyone. If there's haters out there, I kind of get it.
hmm
It's it's the plot itself is very thin. Most of it is just kind of like little adventures along the way. Again, if
Yeah.
this was modern day Netflix, we would have a 10 episode series, and
hmm
maybe three of them would actually be about her wizard or her witch powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They would do the whole, old ladies trying to poison her, and,
exactly, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They would do that.
So, but yeah, no, like I think that's one of the reasons why I really liked it because it was like a cozy story, and it was
hmm
just kind of her just going about her day, you know, or just life and days, just normal, just doing her jobs, and like,
hmm
man, it is kind of a she sounds like a 33-year-old woman, so I have to keep reminding myself, Matt, this is a 13-year-old girl. She doesn't get it. But I'm like, girl, stop complaining about your job. You can fly. You know? She goes through the whole Spider-Man arc of like losing her powers. I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on.
Well, I mean, hey man, you sound no different than Tombo. It's like, look,
do
man.
better, Kiki. But I get it. I completely get it, you know?
Yeah, it's this. I feel like captures the thing that I feel like we've talked about, like, is missing from like other magical movies, or about like people with superpowers, or budding
Hmm.
powers, or anything like that, where it's like we're always talking about like the grandiosity, and how like epic and how cool would it be to have magic and all this stuff. And like here, with few exceptions, the magic feels so mundane.
Right. Yeah.
If the
Yeah.
if this had been an American production, if this was an American movie, there would be there would be like sound effects every time Kiki flies. It would be so grand, you know. Anytime she's doing
Yeah.
anything, like any magical thing would have like a sound or something to it. You know,
Mhm.
Gigi would fully be talking at the end of the movie. You
Yeah.
know, that doesn't happen here.
And I love all those choices.
Yeah,
I like him not talking for like that whole third act.
yeah,
Um, and I love the sound design about like the
yeah.
instant the movie starts. I'm like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
cozy, and it was the whole time. I loved it, and then I love when all of a sudden there is no sound at all. I'm like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
this is cool. This is, you know
Mm-hmm.
me in silence. I love silence. Silence in films. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really I dug that. I enjoyed it. And then her walking back from the beach, I'm like, oh god, that sucks. Yeah, I wish I had a broom too. You know, it's just like so. Yeah, like I like all those choices, and it's very much not an American film,
Mm-hmm.
very much not a modern film,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, man, I really liked it. Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. There's something else I was gonna bring up
Mm-hmm.
uh about like the powers and all that stuff, but yeah, I just like how very matter of fact everything is. You know, okay, there's witches in this world, but like they're so rare.
Yeah.
Like they're very cool when you see one. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um,
Which I think kind of speaks to like a greater theme of like modernity stepping
mhm,
in, you know, and you know if like you watch more of Miyazaki's movies, like that is kind of a theme too, how like
mhm.
there is some sort of connection to the old world and older ways,
Yeah,
mostly from our protagonists, but always set against the ever changing world. You know, the fact that like one of the very first shots of the movie, you know, she's flying up in the sky and then there's a giant airplane, you know, just
yeah,
flying with her. And you're like, that's so beautiful. But then you start to connect the dots along the way too of like, oh, she's in this huge town. It's so modern. They have trains. They, you know,
yeah.
dress like, you know, they're not dressed like some of the people in her village. Like, so
Hmm.
you know, in the old, you know, clock tower keeper, he's even saying like there hasn't been a witch here in forever. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, so it is this kind of thing of like it's the old world trying to find its place in the new. And then that
Yeah,
becomes part of the theme of the movie. Like, is there room for this? You
right.
know? And then it's also about adapting, you know, as much as it is about a young woman coming into her own and
Hmm.
what it's like to have a job and what it's like to not be doing what you feel like you should be doing or not doing more of it, you know, and feeling that depression, you know, and
Hmm.
feeling stuck. You know, it's the it's the Spider-Man 2 of, you know, coming of age adolescent movies. You know,
Yeah,
where it's like, yeah, she fully loses her powers and she has to find them again.
yeah,
And you know, part of the thing, you know, like we know superhero movies, like yeah, he's gonna find his powers by the end of the movie. With this, you're kind of like, will she? You
yeah. You
know,
don't know.
is that a good thing? You know, especially like with the changing of the world, you know, it's kind of that's a huge thing when you start looking into like fairy tales or myths, where it's like there comes a point where in a lot of those old magics they fade away. They're not here
Yeah.
anymore to make room for the next age of
Hmm.
something, you know. So it's like, is that is that a possibility, you know, in this
Yeah.
movie? And thankfully, thankfully at least for this, it's not.
Yeah, and like the more and more we start seeing the blimp, I was thinking like, oh man, this is so interesting. You know how like this kind of is representing like more modern day technology, and
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was I'm thinking I'm like, man, when's the other shoe gonna drop? And then when the kid is like, oh, we're gonna let's go to the beach, and like they turn the corner and you see it on the beach. First thing I
Uh-huh.
thought of was like Nazis. Damn it. Luckily that wasn't the case, but
Yeah.
the whole crashing thing, I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Then she has to have her superhero moment where she like takes off. I'm like, okay.
And
but
even then, that's not perfect, you
she
know?
still can't control it. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it was fun. I really dug it. I did not like that little kid until like once you get like his more nerdy side. I was like, oh, okay, you start seeing like the bike he built. I'm like, oh man, I love
Yeah.
people who are passionate about things, whatever that thing is, you know?
Yeah.
Because before it was just like, all right, just stereotypical nerd with the glasses who will not leave this little girl alone. But then you're
Hmm.
like, when you actually get to see him like talking about like flight and the things he's interested in, I'm like, all right, kid, you can stick
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So,
You know, and that is another thing that I think a lot of people like Miyazaki's films
mhm.
for, is that there isn't ever like forced romance, you
Mm,
know.
hmm.
So it's like because Hayao Miyazaki is very adamant about like wanting to show men and female friendships, you
Hmm.
know, and especially doing that with kids in movies, because
Oh, that's
every
a
film
whole other
he
discussion.
every you know, well, yeah, because it's like every
Can men
movie,
and
you
women be
know.
friends? We
And
just talked
how
about can men be friends with
can
themselves?
men be friends with themselves? Apparently
Yeah,
not, you know. You
yeah,
know, but yeah, and Hayao
yeah,
Miyazaki is firmly on the
yeah.
yeah, obviously they can
Well,
be
and yeah, and it sidestepped a lot of I guess tropes that I'm used to just from
yeah,
these last 38 years of film I've been watching. 'Cause like when she runs into what's his name? Tombo?
Tombo.
When she runs into him after she gets sick and and he's just totally cool with it. You know, she's like, "Sorry to show up," and he's like, "Hey, no, I'm sorry that you got sick." And I was like, "Yes," because modern day, we go through this whole thing of like, "Why weren't you there? I was waiting for you in the rain and all that stuff," and
Mm-hmm.
like he resents her now because of it. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, "No, no, just no, swept that aside." And I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool." So. I really like that. It's just it felt very all these storytelling choices felt very mature
Mm-hmm.
for like a kids film, you know? And that's because they don't make them like they used to, man. Like I really dug it.
Yeah.
I
Uh
love the artist in the forest and that painting she did.
yeah.
And I was like, wait, is she gonna like paint Kiki and like it
And then
like
take her
takes her
magic.
powers? Yeah, it
It
takes
puts
her
her in the
soul.
painting.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what's going on? But no, it turned out to be cool. I'm
No,
like, all right,
no.
I like this world. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is a world that's so good that I had to read this in the notes. It's a world that's so good that apparently World War II never happened.
really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not exactly sure why. So this is a fictional city that's based off of a lot of European countries.
Mhm.
But yeah, apparently that was just a thing that I read up in the trivia notes that Hayao
Oh,
Miyazaki says that World War II never happened in this world. And I think that's nice. I think that's a nice thing,
yeah.
you
It's
know?
kind of interesting. But like the lore side of me, I'm like, okay, how does this happen? How do we connect the dots? You know,
Like
it's probably because the witches prevented it somehow. That's the only logical explanation.
could be, could be.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The very first time I saw this was during the pandemic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, and it was yeah. I want to say it was like within that like February or March.
Like at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, at the
Wow.
beginning. And you know, I was still like fresh off of my accident, and
Yeah.
I want to say I hadn't had my surgery yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I was still like bedbound for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I had nothing to do but like watch movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I ended up watching this after I watched Joker,
Oh god.
which I said I wasn't gonna do, but I was like, I might as well. I got nothing better to do. I'm
It's
in
like watching
pain.
a car
I'm in
crash.
misery. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know, like I do feel like that experience of like watching a movie I did not like at all earlier in the day, ruminating on that, and then watching this, and was just a total 180,
Yeah.
and like, and it is a thing. It is a thing that still to this day like sticks with me,
Hmm.
and it like it truly is like this perfect like coming of age story that has a voice of its own, that feels very childlike as well.
Hmm.
And yeah, like I don't think it ever really has themes or situations that are like too adult
Sure.
for for a kid to handle or whatever. But what I like about it is that like everything does feel big, every
Yeah.
it's big mood swings, like Kiki has her first customer. This is amazing, let's go, the music swells, and like, yeah, we're
Hmm.
off, we're gonna do great. And she kind of beefs it,
Hmm.
she
Hmm.
the crows hate her, and she's got
Yeah.
to do a whole side quest in the forest. Gigi has to play a decoy, and she's there for a
Hmm.
long time, and but we're in it. And it is this interesting thing of like, this is where the drama is.
Yeah.
And it's not about you know the world learning about magic, or her learning to control her powers. It's like, no, it's just about you finding what it is you like and doing it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Um, and yeah.
But at the same time, like first off, I thought you were gonna say what you said. It's perfect, and you took a little pause. I thought you were gonna say it's the perfect double feature, Joker and Kiki's Delivery Service.
Absolutely not. Nobody should watch Joker. Nobody should be watching that movie.
But
No.
here's the thing. Like I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, it's also like what is the story? Even without the magic. It's like finding something that you enjoy doing, but also like her whole thing is like the hustle kills the dream. That's something we're all facing right now with hustle
Oh, that's
culture.
true. Yeah, yeah.
She says how like she used to love flying until she started doing that as her job,
Hmm.
and and she ends up being able to do it again and getting her powers again when she needs it. You know,
Hmm.
if there's any kind of tweak or anything I would make to the story, it would have been something like that. I felt like it's kind of a traditional, oh, we need a third act set piece. She's
Hmm.
going to get her powers back, saving the day. Whereas, like, I think of all movies, this would have been perfect too if it was less spectacular. Like
Mm.
it's actually her finding that love again of it. That's what gets her abilities back instead of like someone's life on the line.
Yeah.
So, and not to say that detracts from the film. It's just obviously a route that they took that I wouldn't have. But to me, it's just like, man. So basically, it's about this girl who her work ethic is isn't vibing with her dreams and goals,
Hmm.
and she has to learn to accept it. That's kind of a more
Kind of.
pessimistic take on it, but like that's kind of what the plot is.
Sure, sure. I it's funny because it took me a couple of watches to realize that like Kiki doesn't have any like specified training.
Yeah.
And I think like even her mom says that at some point, is like, I haven't really like trained her to do much. Like she can barely fly.
Yeah, great
Uh
going, mom.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Thanks, mom. Really setting me up for success here.
Thanks for not teaching her potions because the mom doesn't know potions either, apparently.
Well, no, I think she does. It's just that, like, she gets this news and is shocked, and
That's true.
it's just like,
It's all Kiki news, so
yeah, it's all
Kiki's the
Kiki
one
related
screwing
news.
it
She's like,
up.
what, goo? Oh, it's like, yeah, yeah. It's like, hey, man, you got to keep your
Yeah.
emotions in check when you're making
Yeah,
spell crafting and all that.
that's true.
But yeah, even when Kiki meets that very rude other teenage witch on her first night
Oh
out.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, she's just like, I can tell fortunes and I tell fortunes about love. What do you do? And Kiki's like,
Hmm.
oh, I hadn't really thought about that. I'm like, I love this. I love this so much because it is that very teenage thing of just like, I'm leaving home. I'm going to get my own money. I'm going to get a job.
Hmm.
I'm going to live in a city by the sea. I'm going to do all that stuff. But it's all the little, it's like you said earlier, like connecting the dots. It's like, well, where are you going to live? Don't know. What are you going to do for
Yeah.
money? Don't know. What are you going to, like, after you figure that out, what are you going to do when you get there? Like, what's the dream? What's the goal? I don't know. Be a witch. What does that look like? What do
Yeah.
you think that looks like? It's like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
I love that. I love that because it's like, I feel like that's also me in a lot of instances throughout my life, where it's just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, how are you going to do that? I don't know, but it's going
Yeah.
to happen,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like that is a very like childlike mentality. And then the movie has to be about her like, well, solving those problems. Okay, where are you going to stay if you want to live in
Yes,
the
yes.
city? You
And
know?
I do like how several times she's kind of called out, especially by Gigi. Just
Hmm.
like you can't just run across the road. She's like, "We're alive, aren't we?"
Hmm.
It's again a very immature mentality. But as the movie goes on, they don't address it. It
Hmm.
just you kind of see it happening, and you kind of see her changing. And by the end of the movie, she does look both ways before she runs across the street. So it's just something so subtle like that, you know?
Hmm.
No
Hmm.
one mentioned that Gigi isn't like, wow, you did look both ways, Kiki.
It's not a
That's
dramatic moment where she
that's
slows
a very
down
Netflix thing.
to
Yeah, that's a
look both
very
ways.
modern day. We got to say the theme and the moral of the story out loud so the
Yeah.
people on their phones understand. No, it's just,
Hmm.
and again, you don't need audio for that.
Yeah.
You just see Kiki step out, look both ways, and then run.
Yeah.
I'm like, perfect. Subtlety. I love it. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I like the way she was written. Again, I think the best part was the second time she goes to the cabin with the
Oh,
artist.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that whole talk she gives her, she's like, you need to find out your why. And I like how she talked about she just couldn't paint. She couldn't figure out what to do and all that stuff. And she realized, oh, she's like, because I'm painting other things,
Hmm.
other people's works. She's like, you need to find out why you're doing it. And so I like that. So it isn't totally as bad as being like, oh, basically Kiki learns that, you gotta work, so just enjoy it.
Yeah, just accept it and
It,
move on.
it
It's like,
yeah,
no.
it really is about like her finding a work, and especially, I mean, come on. She's 13 years old and she just started her own business. That's pretty impressive, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's more about like finding the thing that yeah, it makes you happy or just that you want to do to contribute. It's an act of service. She wants to be that delivery girl, you know?
Hmm.
And I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah. And it is like, it, it is kind of what you said earlier too, of like, in a way, it is anti-hustle culture, because
Hmm.
it does address this burnout in a very big way. And it's just
Hmm.
like, hey, like, you hit a wall. You can't
Hmm.
do the thing that you do anymore. You can't do the thing that makes you the money. And what is ever, the probably the best thing about this movie is that she has so many other people telling her, hey, that's fine. Hey,
Yeah.
it's okay. She has this older woman who is about to have a baby, has her own business, has a husband,
Yeah.
like is still working, through this whole
Older
thing.
woman. Sam, that woman
And
was probably in her 30s.
I'm just saying she's older than Kiki is, Matt. Calm down. Calm down. I'm
Everyone's older than
sorry.
Kiki.
God, everything's so
I'm
charged.
sorry. I'm
You
just
can't
feeling
say
so
anything anymore.
so emotionally vulnerable right now because I'm about to turn 39. So,
Hey, Matt, age is just a number. But
uh, but
it's like yeah, like she has this other female entrepreneur,
yeah,
telling her the like, hey, like it'll be fine. You'll get
Yeah.
your magic back. She
And to
has
your point, I love
yeah.
how everyone is a positive influence in some
Yeah.
way, and I really like
Yeah.
that. So,
Even, even the little old lady, she delivered that
oh, big
herring
time.
pie to,
And I love
to her
her,
bratty
like
niece.
housemaid,
Oh yeah, Barca.
like,
Yeah.
what's her name?
Barca.
Barca. I loved her. Dude, she's like, she pew, pew, she's on
Yeah,
the
she's on the
broom,
broom.
and then like the freaking blimps exploded, and she's like, oh, we're missing the best part.
Like it just got exciting.
I was like, who is this person?
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
she baked the cake for Kiki. That
Yeah.
like there was no delivery in that point. Like it was just
Yeah.
like it was all a ruse to
And it's
say
not,
I'm very grateful for what you did
yeah.
for me.
And it's nice that they kind of set up that relationship and that she's going to continue to bake this for Kiki on her birthday, and Kiki's gonna pay her back in some way for her birthday. Especially because
Yeah.
that lady's granddaughter is a dick. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, the kid. What was the kid who got the toy in that other
Oh.
house?
Oh
What's his
yeah,
name?
Kent.
Kent.
Or
Okay.
Kit. Kit.
Kit. Okay. I thought it was Cat. I was like, what?
Yeah. It's like Ket. So it's like Kit.
Kit. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
dick too.
Yeah, he's a dick too.
Yeah.
It's like this is stupid.
Yeah. I love that dog though. He's just chilling, minding his own business. He
hmm
helps Gigi out and then he just takes off.
Yeah, and I love that too. How like we're also very. I the first time I watched it, I was so worried. I was like, "There's a dog in the house. Gigi's gonna
Yeah.
die. Like Gigi, like the
Yeah.
game is up. They're gonna know, and Kiki's cover's gonna be blown. All this stuff.
Yeah.
And no, like he's just there.
Yeah.
And he knows that there's a cat in the house, and he's like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to be here. All right." And
Yeah.
just like curls up behind. I'm like, it's so sweet and it's so nice. Like there's just so
Yeah.
much of this movie that just yeah. I don't know what it is. If it's like as men or like as Americans or something where it's like as like these avid movie watchers, but kind of specifically like for American movies, it's like, yeah, like there is a like a gear in our head that we have to switch when it comes to watching something like this, where it's like, yeah, you have all your expectations, and if you're watching it in that way, expecting, like beat, 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 it's
Hmm.
like you're in for a different movie. And I think
Right.
that's why this resonates with me so much too, where it's just like, man, like they got this right in 1989,
Hmm.
stuff that like even today, animated movies today like aren't doing or aren't
Yeah.
replicating or aren't trying to do for themselves. Like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it feel
Dramatically and also visually, man. This movie's just so
oh,
like I'm watching it and I'm like, damn, this looks so great,
it's so beautiful.
And
Yeah,
like I remember one of the first major things with the generative AI was someone tried to do that Miyazaki AI. And it's just like it doesn't hold a candle to it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah,
and
man.
and that's the thing too, like you have everybody who's like trying to be ambassadors for AI and usher in AI. It's like you're contributing to the burnout. You're not
Yeah.
contributing to the hustle. You're contributing to the burnout.
Hmm.
You are creating copies of copies of copies.
Hmm.
Like that's what you think. That's what you're
That's
doing.
exactly what that
And
artist was saying that's why she burned out. Exactly. You
yeah,
know?
it's like so. Like you're watching
Uh-oh, hang on.
another movie the other
Hello,
day where
hello,
they talked
hello.
about.
You there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, you're
Did I freeze?
yeah.
Uh oh.
Okay, you're there. Am I here?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's because they heard us bad
Um.
mouthing
Hope
AI.
that wasn't me. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Regurgitative AI.
yeah, I start slowing down our internet because we're bad mouthing AI. So
Good.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like I was watching something the other day where they made like a passing joke about like, now if only we could figure out how to remove the writers from the artistic process.
Mm,
in terms of like writing movies, and everybody like, ha ha ha, jokes about that. Uh, but yeah, like that's what these people are doing, and
mhm.
I saw that years ago, people have been talking about AI for years, and I saw people saying like, I don't want AI to make art for me. I want AI to like do the other stuff
Yeah.
so that I have the time to make art.
So like, AI replaced the producers. There was this game
Hmm.
years ago. I think it was just called The Movies. I
Okay.
don't know. It was like a PC game, and
I kind of remember
basically
that.
you run a film studio starting, I want to say, in the 20s. And
Yeah.
then as
It's
time
kind of
goes on,
Sims like, right?
kind of, but it was like a resource management. You had to make sure
Yeah.
your actors were well paid, and you're competing against like these four other movie studios.
Okay.
And another movie studio would make an offer to like your star actor, so you would have to counter and all this
Mm.
stuff. And it was just very interesting. But one of the cool things was that there's at the top of the screen there was a timeline, and you had these major events that were coming up,
Ooh.
and you had to kind of time your movie productions to it.
Mm.
So if you see at the edge of the screen, there's like a moon landing coming up. You're like, okay, we're gonna start writing a sci-fi movie now, because by the time
Ah.
we go into production, film it, edit it, and then come out, it'll be just around the time of the moon landing.
Mm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
that will
Mm-hmm.
drive all the box office revenue. So what we need to do is you take AI to replace producers and to predict the future. So
Oh
AI will
wow.
tell us, "Hey, this is what we need. You want a tentpole superhero movie that's going to actually work? This is your time slot. This is
Mm.
why, and this is why. Give us the reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's all this other stuff like coming up that like there was like the Lindbergh flight was coming up. You see it, so you're like, okay, so we're gonna do like an adventure movie, something with exploration, something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, damn, that's what we need. Yeah, you
We need
keep
a
the
pro.
artist arting.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, long live animation.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
You know.
By
But
the way, there's
but
another movie studio game that's coming out that's
uh-huh.
very similar, and I was really excited about it, but it's just very dark and too real.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like how far are you willing to go to keep your movie studio afloat? And I'm like, oh,
Jeez. I hate that.
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Um I'm just gonna keep my actors all wired up on coke, so they have to do my job. They have to
Pretty
do
much,
whatever.
yeah.
Hate that. No, stop with these
Yeah.
edgy games. Like, stop it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
like
I'm not
I'm
even a
done.
huge fan of resource management games, but I would
Yeah.
much rather play something like that than pushy, edgy. Like, oh yeah, I'll do anything to get to the top. Like, look, not everything has to be Marty Supreme or anything by the Safdies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
those movies are indicative of like hustle culture and how like, you know, kind of tying into everything we've been talking about is like this masculine ideal of having to make it, of having to do it your way, of having to do like this and that,
Hmm.
and having a plan and screwing up everybody else's lives along the way as long as you get your bag, and
Yeah.
having that be okay. And it's like, and here is a movie that completely refutes all of that. That is like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a job that like technically I do get paid for, that is an act of service though for the community. And when
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore, the community then comes in to be like, hey, are you okay? Like, not
Yeah.
even in a way it's like, we need you working, we need you to get back to work. It's like, no, I'm gonna come get you so we can go chill in my cabin in the woods. I'm gonna take you on a
Yeah.
beach day. It's like that's what we need more
In
of.
a world filled with Marty Supremes,
Hmm.
be the Mummy 4. I don't know how that translates,
What?
but they're saying that's going to be the bisexual iconic movie of the future, The Mummy
What?
4.
Are you saying words right now? What
Yeah.
what what is happening?
Yeah.
I
Dude,
don't.
Yeah,
What?
like
Who's saying this?
wait, have you not been reading about the Mummy 4?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I got it confused with the other Mummy movie that's coming
Oh, the
out.
one with the creepy little dead girl?
Yeah, that's why
Hell no.
I was like,
Hell no.
wait, what are you talking? That one? The
No,
one that
Sam,
looks like Evil Dead with the
we're
little
talking about the
girl?
Tom Cruise flop. That's the one we're talking
Oh,
about.
oh boy,
No,
yeah,
everyone say like Rick O'Connell and Evie coming back. This is what we need to heal. I'm like, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Hopefully,
So
yeah,
yeah, just you go where your passions lie. Sometimes that's in a spooky crypt underneath Egypt. You know?
yeah.
Yeah. Now is it going to be a new mummy? It's got to be,
I
right?
hope so. I don't want them to bring back Emotep again.
Yeah. Poor
You
guy. Let him
know?
just die.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, even he threw himself into hell
Yeah.
in The Mummy Returns.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'm sure he doesn't want to come back.
Yeah. Because the girl, his love of his life, what was her name? Naxamaru, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. She Marty supremed him and ditched. I don't
She's
know if
like,
that.
our love does not last the ages.
No, it doesn't.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So, man. Yeah, I was surprised how quickly this movie ends. Like,
yeah.
she saves the day, and then boom, end credits. And before post credit scenes were popular, we got a post credit scene of the letter.
Well, yeah.
I
Honestly,
was
I'm
like,
like, is this post credit scene? Because, well, I mean, technically, because,
kind of,
but
but
and this is the thing that I love. I love this. I think they do this in every Miyazaki, or maybe
hmm
just in Studio Ghibli movies. I have to go back and confirm,
hmm
but I feel like they do this. They keep showing like little montages as the credits are rolling. I don't think
love
there's
it,
like a final
love it.
scene. I don't think there's
Yeah.
like a final like post credit stinger like at the end of all of them. But yeah, like they all kind of do this, and I'm
hmm
fascinated by it, and I love it when movies do that. So I'm like, I want
hmm
more of this, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah, I do love that because it's like we were here to tell you a story, and now it's over.
Yeah. And I,
And we're gonna give you a little happy like sometimes I still don't feel good, but I've learned that I just gotta keep flying, and it's like,
but
yeah,
I like that. Yeah. But I really liked it too because like we're actually as the credits are rolling, we're seeing the story still going. We're seeing the progression,
yeah,
and then we get the
yeah.
letter at the end. Not like Sinners. Like I don't like how they cut to the end credits and you're seeing the whole jazz at
Oh,
the end. Not jazz, blues at the end. I wish they didn't do the credits until after that final scene because that final scene, as much as if we never got that scene, great, movie's still great, you know.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But because of that scene, it hit so hard. It hit so hard.
mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, no, that was my one complaint about Sinners, really. Like you
Yeah,
started the credits too early, especially because there are the people we see them all the time. As soon as the credits start, they walk out. They don't
yeah,
care about post credits or anything like that. They want to get in
yeah.
their car and leave before traffic. So,
Let me tell you. People are weird. Weird people exist. We're sharing breathing room. We're sharing, you know, DoorDash delivery drivers with weird people. All right. On a plane years ago. This was a couple years ago. It's on a plane. I forgot to get the little like free headphones that they were handing out. So
mhm.
I couldn't watch a movie. So I was like, okay, like
Crap.
this sucks.
Yeah.
And like I had my phone, I had my own headphones, so I was like, okay, whatever. But what I ended up doing was I was just kind of looking around me, ended up looking at the guy diagonally in front of me across the aisle. I started watching his movie, and he was watching 1917.
Oh, yes.
And I feel like I told you the story, but he was watching 1917, and we were about halfway through the movie when I realized that he didn't have headphones on either. And I was like, wait a second, like he didn't like, and the headphones they had were like the little white ones that you can plug into the screen, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have those on. So I'm like, oh, maybe he has like Bluetooth on or something. And he ended up turning to like talk to the stewardess or whatever. Nope, no Bluetooth headphones on. No big headphones, no little ones either. So this psychopath was watching 1917 on an airplane without without headphones and with no subtitles. So he's just watching this movie silent. And there's a fair amount of talking in this movie. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, what the hell is going on?
Well,
And to end it all off, he ends the movie. I feel like I know the shot. Like you know when you see it. No spoiler, I guess, or
yeah.
spoiler. But like you get to like that final shot, he clicks out of the movie. We have like 30 minutes left in our flight. He clicks out of the movie, starts browsing to watch another movie, and he's doing that for like 10 minutes, and then finally decides, okay, and clicks back and goes back to finish out. The credits hadn't even started. The final moment just started happening. It was basically like Kiki's like, we did the thing. And then this guy clicked
Mhm.
out of it. He's like, "Yep, that's the movie." I'm like, "There's still movie left because you got to get to the credits at least." And I was like,
Yeah.
"This man's a psychopath.
Yeah.
I never want to watch another movie with this man in my life."
That's crazy, dude. Like when dad is on his iPad, he won't have the audio on. He'll just be
Hmm.
watching stuff. And I'm like, what? Sometimes there's subtitles, but when he's in his office, at least he turns the audio on. I'm like,
Yeah,
Dad, this is your house. You can turn the audio on.
honestly, Cat's the same way. Like if we're doing something or we have something
Yeah.
on, like she'll put her headphones in and like be on her phone. But
Yeah.
sometimes she won't do that and she'll just watch stuff like silently. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And like
And
I
you
try to
know,
do that and I'm like, wait, what's the context? Wait, what's
yeah.
happening? Wait.
So um again, we mentioned it before. I'm kind of like trigger warning things I talk about a lot on the show, just in case you know people come and this is their first episode of Lost Legacies because we're doing
Oh
a lot
yeah.
more movies now. But trigger warning, I've mentioned this a lot. Back at SVA, we were talking about watching movies with no audio. Like if you
Oh
could
yeah,
watch
yeah.
if you could watch a movie without audio, and still keep up with the plot, it's really well done. So for decades, that's kind of how I write, and also because I'm just a visual person, you
Hmm.
know. So when I write, it's very visual, and that kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier about playing with silence. I love scenes between characters, between actors where there is no dialogue
Hmm.
or we never hear their dialogue. They're just whispering to themselves. So
Hmm.
the audience never knows. But if you have actors who are good at their job and you have a director who knows what they're doing,
Hmm.
you know exactly what they're saying. You don't have to
Yeah.
hear the words, you know? And I
Yeah.
love that. That was until recently
Mm.
because I was watching this thing about the movie Casino
Hmm.
and how this guy who's blind says Casino is probably the best movie to watch for blind people because the audio is so perfect. You know exactly what's happening in
Oh.
every single scene.
Oh
And
wow. Yeah,
now
yeah,
I'm thinking, I was
yeah.
like, dude, that's wild. I never thought about that. You know,
Yeah.
because one, you want to make a movie that everyone can enjoy, which is very hard because there's so many different things to prevent that. Like in this
Yeah.
case, someone who's blind. Uh, but now I'm also thinking like, okay, well, how would I do this differently without the visuals? You know, I watch target audience and they watch Star Trek. They're Star Trek reactors. They talk about it a lot. How Star Trek tends to give like audio cues
Hmm.
very interesting ways when like a twist is coming or a surprise. So like when Riker shows up on Deep Space Nine, you hear his voice first, and then you're like, "What?" and then the camera pans and you see him. You're like, oh, that's Jonathan Frakes. So I'm like, so
Hmm.
little things like
Hmm.
that. I was like, okay, cool. But also, I'm also thinking like, it probably isn't cost effective, but like, could you make like multiple versions of your movie? You know, this is like Matt's vision.
Potentially.
This is what I want. But then it's like, oh, okay, this is my version for this scene impaired. You know, so it's
Mm.
cut just a little differently because the focus is on the audio over visuals. You know,
Hmm. That's
that
interesting.
that'd be, and who knows, maybe it doesn't need to be super expensive. Maybe it's just a different version of the edit. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. I just that kind of blew my mind when this guy was talking about Casino, and I was like, wow,
Hmm.
that's awesome. So yeah, I don't know
That
how
is
we start talking
interesting.
about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, all in all, Uh, I'm glad we picked this one. So Miyazaki is back on the list of films. So at some point we're gonna get to watch another one.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Hmm.
Because I have like 25 movies on that list. So
Who knows?
um,
Maybe I'll hit Miyazaki again, or maybe I'll
yeah.
throw you a bone and be like, no, we're gonna watch this.
Yeah.
There were several that I wanted to go with,
Mhm.
and ultimately I feel like no, I wanted to do my favorite. Like this is my favorite. What?
No, no, I'm not stopping you. I'm just
Oh,
preparing
oh,
myself to say something.
oh, okay. Well, no, but yeah, I can definitely see, and that's kind of the thing too. Like, I know that there's so many fans of the Miyazaki movies specifically,
Yeah,
but like they're not they're not always for everybody,
sure.
and not everyone is going to be everyone's favorite,
Mhm.
I mean, there are a lot of people love, Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke. I feel
Mhm.
like truly, I feel like that and Castle in the Sky are probably like a little bit more your speed,
Mhm.
just in terms of like what they're doing, like storytelling wise and structure wise. Porco Rosso, also one of my favorites. I'm like that. This is a Matt movie too. Like, come on. But yeah, I did. I wanted to give this as like a primer of like this is kind of what you're in for.
Yeah.
It's not going to be exactly what you think it is, but that doesn't detract it from being beautiful.
And as far as being my first one,
Hmm.
without watching any of the others, I feel like this is a good baseline because it was it was cozy, and I know not all of them are going to be that,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
so I might be caught off guard. The next one we pick, I'm gonna be so ready to just enjoy it. I'm gonna have like my little like a throw on. I'm gonna have my gingerbread mug,
Uh
just
huh.
ready to go for a comfy, good old time. And then it's gonna be the total opposite. I know it.
Yeah,
But
and
also,
then
this one wasn't
boom.
very like emotionally moving as I was expecting. I was always thought
Mm.
like, man, I'm probably gonna cry in this one, because I always hear these things about Miyazaki movies. So, but no, there's nothing like that. So I was like, all right, so that's probably in the future at some point.
Yeah,
So
yeah, could
yeah,
be.
yeah. But speaking of next time,
Mm-hmm.
what are we watching next week? You have a selection for us?
I do have a selection for you, and you're gonna select it. Roll a d20, bro.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Get warm it up. Get all the bad juju out.
Yep.
You know, and
All
then tell me
right.
what you
Here.
get.
It's what you got last week. A 16.
A 16.
Technically, I rolled it last time. So that's two 16s in a row.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You need a different die.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah. There is a choice here that's written for number 16, but we're not going to go with that.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's mostly because I won't spoil what it is, but it is another like 80s fantasy, movie.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
And I want to give another palette, so I'll go easy on you. Roll it again. Let's see. You roll with advantage. So there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a different one
Yeah, roll a
without
different one.
warming it up.
Yeah.
It's
It's
16. This is
we're
crazy.
we're not doing no. We're not
Okay,
doing
hang on,
that. We're
hang
not
on.
doing that. Come on.
Okay, that's a nat 20. There you go. It
Okay.
only took me a couple of tries.
Okay. This is the choice that I have for my net 20. Now this is going to be interesting. Um as far as I know, this is only on Amazon Prime.
Hmm.
I do want to see if at least for me, like I can find either like a free version or I can go buy like a physical copy or something.
Sure.
But next week we're watching a movie that I saw last year that I've been low key obsessed about. That I've thought about at least once a week ever since I saw it, and kind of changed my life.
Hmm.
That's gonna be like the YouTube thing, you know. YouTube reacts Sam's face like this movie changed my life. Uh, it's a little indie picture called Molly and Max in the Future.
Oh, we've talked about this one. Yeah.
We have talked about this. I think I talked about it on the pod
Yeah. The
last
guy
year.
Aristotle Atari.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
What a
yeah.
name. What
What
a
a name!
name.
What a name! What an actor! Yeah, truly, like, yeah, kind of like awe-inspiring for me. And I'm like,
Hmm.
this is I feel like this is the kind of thing that I want to make, and it does seem doable, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so again, as of right now, as far as I know, the only place where you can watch it streaming is on Amazon Prime. But I will try and find a way to.
Cool.
I will try and find another way to watch it, and if I do, I will, you know, I'll
Just
put
let
that
us
in my
know.
socials. You know,
There's
I'll
there's
let you
so like
know.
every movie I've picked so far this year has not been streaming.
Yeah,
You have to pay for it. Or it's been like
yeah.
free on Tubi. So Tubi's nice. So,
Yeah,
okay.
Tubi is nice. Oh, that's a good idea. I haven't checked on Tubi, so maybe I will.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
so listeners, next week we're talking about Molly and Max in the future. If you've seen
cool.
it, send us comments, you know, through our email, or if you haven't seen it and want to watch it, you know, go for it, and then talk about it. We'll read your email on the pod.
Yeah, yeah. And then we have you have until March 25th
Oh, that's right.
to send us comments or questions about
Or
Gideon the
concerns.
Ninth.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be our book club for next month, the month
Mm-hmm.
of April.
April.
So yeah, March 25th. Let us know. But yeah, as far as today goes, that's it for this week.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I'm gonna come up with a new sign off for every single movie.
Yeah, it's kind of too. Unless there's like a tagline, you know, or a
Yeah.
catchphrase from the movie. Yeah.
So, everyone, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this movie as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
Hit us up, hashtag Lost Legacies. We're on most of the socials. We'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so until next time, get lost.
Get lost.